What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. I want to go over some of the current data points, what really moved it today, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So SoFi went down 1.98% today, largely piggybacking off of the broader market. 14.79 the low, 15.25 the high. So there was a couple of different attributing things that caused kind of the market to be somewhat freaked out over. Both came from Fed speakers. So first thing, you did have Hammack. I believe she was speaking at the University of Kentucky, as well as Powell at 9. Both kind of said the exact same thing, that you don't really want to cut interest rates too fast because potentially as a byproduct, inflation would go up. So they wanted to kind of keep it for as is for a longer period, more than what was anticipated. That's not necessarily good for growth stocks, and that's what really hit the market quite hard. And already you can kind of see for the March 19th meeting, likelihood of a 25 basis point cut went down dramatically to 4.5. Even the May 7th went down, June 18th, July 30th, that one kind of maintained itself. So it is fair to assume that the market is now pricing in a July 30th cut. So still, I think a cut down the line is fairly good. Powell at the same time did signal that we are not in a recession, not really worried about that. Obviously tariffs, that's something he doesn't directly respond and kind of speak on, but there is usually damages that kind of follow from that. So I think a lot of people are trying to read exactly what he's saying. I do believe his testimony is actually carrying over into tomorrow as well. So we'll just have to wait and see what that does bring. And then during power hour, you kind of had to push down as well because there's last minute fears associated to the dreaded CPI that is coming out tomorrow. Specific to SoFi though, they did put out this news right here. So first thing, SoFi Plus premium membership now offers 1,000 plus in annual value. So they did some, they added some additional perks. Pretty good stuff. I think in general, they need to do more marketing to really get this out. And then this will incentivize more people to become members. And I think all of this is a very good SoFi approach because they want all in one location for everything. So based on a lot of these perks, helps them with mortgages, helps them with insurance, so it kind of helps a lot of their sub businesses, travel as well. So I think this is a very good idea. And kind of funny though, so like I mentioned, I think they do need to market this better. They did bring up marketing. So there was this fireside chat, so Anthony did a phenomenal job. It was 40 minutes, already did post it. And I think most of the stuff was a kind of regurgitation of from their last earnings, but one thing that they did state is that I think almost like 70 cents per dollar, they're going to be cycling it back into the business itself to boost customer service, marketing, hire a lot more staff, and just kind of innovate more. And that's my reading between the lines of what he was trying to say. So that's kind of what the market's been kind of screaming at SoFi over is, hey, you need to innovate. You see Robinhood, you see all these other companies trying things. Some get shut down, obviously the sports betting and whatever, but at least they're trying to innovate. And that's something that I feel like SoFi has been lacking a little bit, even though like what did he say, I think from now up until 2026 or something, the compound annual growth is, was it 25 or 30%? So phenomenal stuff. SoFi is definitely not failing as far as the company goes, but the innovation side I think they're somewhat lacking in. So he did allude to a lot of big things coming for 2025 and 2026. I know obviously I'm rephrasing a lot, but if there's anything I did miss, let me know in the comments below. Aside from all of that though, the fireside chat didn't really do all that much. Kind of caused this right here, but I think it was kind of short-lived, didn't really do all that much for the stock price. Shorts though, so 11.67% of the free float is being shorted. That is the new short interest percentage, and the reasoning is 2 times per month NASDAQ does disclose the true amount of shares being shorted. So the report came out today, so as of January the 30th, there was 126.37 million shares overall being shorted. So that does mean from January the 15th to January the 31st, shorts did return roughly around 6 million shares more than what we anticipated. So kind of crazy stuff all in all. but that's why we do have this new short interest 11.67, because Ortex and a lot of others like Fintel takes that information and calculates up to today's date. So it does indicate 6.4 million shares did return. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. It's good to see shorts return, but negative side is, I guess it didn't really cause that big of a stock increase or a price increase, only because from January the 30th up until the 15th, it went from roughly $16 and change to like, it didn't really do all that much. It caused the stock price to go down. So they kind of just brushed their shares under the rug for the most part. Moving on, 16 million in calls, 3.5 in puts. 60% of all the options being done were optimistic in nature and kind of in line with the overall dollar premium. So 19 million today, 16.3 yesterday, 16.3 on Friday. So yeah, kind of in line. Put slash call ratio pretty good, in line with what it has been as well, so nothing really crazy. Of the call options that were purchased today, there's a consensus for it to be above that 16 to 16.50, so the optimism is slowly going down. So something again just to keep in mind. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 14.50, possibly even 14. So I think in reality, it is all going to come down to data over the next couple of days. So you have CPI, like I said, and then PPI. So it should be a fun old time. These are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. So kind of low, to be fully honest. So the frequency has definitely been going down, so that's something just to overall keep in mind. But nonetheless, at least it is this amount. I remember when I first started covering SoFi, like you'd have maybe like 10 at max. So definitely institutions are paying more attention than ever before. So again, kind of a good thing. But aside from that, with it closing at 14.83, it is trading between these 2 points. So this pivot and this S1. $15.12. That was going to be that key level that SoFi really needed to stay above. Unfortunately, it didn't really hold all that well today, but 14.70 is going to be that next strong target slash, the next strong support from here. Then that 15.12 is going to be the next strong target slash resistance point. So kind of just watch for all of that. And most likely with CPI, if positive or negative, either of them could be touched. So just prepare for the worst, and then anything again could happen. Aside from all of that though, no new analyst ratings or anything. So with it at 14.85, it is well below that 50-day moving average, still below the ALMA. So I think it is also just pulling back due to its own technicals. Stochastic RSI very oversold. So if there is a good piece of news that does come out specific to SoFi, or let's say CPI related, that's positive, then you could see a kind of a rush of value investors getting into SoFi, really pushing it up, possibly enough to even that 50-day moving average. And so that is $15.74. So let me know your thoughts on SoFi. I know a lot of other stocks in similar kind of nature that is below the 50-day moving average, they are getting hit quite hard. So I know a lot of people sentiment is very low with SoFi right now, but it is actually doing rather good given everything that's been happening in the broader market. So let me know your viewpoint on SoFi. Have you been dabbling with options? What have you been doing? So don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. What is your viewpoint on shorts returning? Like I said, the 6 million shares between the 15th and the 30th. Or sorry, the 31st. And just generally, what was your takeaway from the Fireside chat? I know I gave a quick synopsis of it and kind of my Cole's notes of it, but was there anything else that was new information that maybe I didn't bring up? So if so, put that in the comments below. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.